Love is like a circle, right? Have you ever seen the relay? The way that they arrange themselves and then they run and then to the finish point. So the Lord, when you start the cycle of, before you sit, you start the journey of love. Think about it as a relay. There is a place love begins. Are you hearing me? But there is a place love ends. All of us can love the Lord. But it might be, you know that relay, the first person that begins to run, it might be that's where you are the first one. So the Lord gave us the dimensions of love so that you will not attempt to claim to love God in one atmosphere. So he says, love the Lord your God with all. So the beginning, the entry point there is the involvement of your heart. It means you can love God with your heart and then think you have loved God with everything. No. He says, love the Lord your God with all your heart. You might involve your heart, but you have not involved your soul. So your love is not complete. It's not 360. Jesus said, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart. This is now the entry point of his love, which is the deepest aspect, because your soul is too stubborn. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, your soul is too stubborn. Too stubborn. Your soul is the part of you that is radical about your desire. And in order for you to bring your soul to the weighing scale, your heart is the chamber that invites the rest of you. So you can't change a man in his soul first. You change a man in his. This is why salvation is easy as believing, because it's a function of the heart. Are you here? Then once the capacity that can bring everything together is on board, the heart now begins to say, that's why you hear the Bible saying, God, you are, yes, because out of it will flow the issue. So your soul will be a slave to it. The part of you that can decide without God. So it's a very stubborn realm that it will need to be brought under subjection, else it will ruin you. Are you hearing me? So you can start the journey of love by loving the Lord with all your heart, but you will need to take it deeper and bring the second realm of that reality, which is your soul. This is where the appliance of decisions are made. And this is why don't ever let anyone stop you from the journey of becoming. Not even yourself. Listen, don't. There is a difference between repent and saying sorry. Many people think when they go to God and say, I'm sorry, they have repented. Saying sorry is not repenting. So your greatest journey will be to bring yourself to the altar, to bring yourself. Once you begin to notice, so David was there. Are you hearing me? Is to bring that soul under subjection, to force it. Because when God speaks, he speaks directly to the inner man. Now, the work of that inner man is to transmit, is to, let's say for example, it has been spoken in Chinese. So you will need an interpreter. It is that heart that begins to interpret the will of God. God is too big to be understood by your brain. That's why he reaches to your heart and tells you, go around the wall and scream. Your brain tells you, what are you saying? How shall these things be? Because it has made sense to your heart. The second aspect is that it should make sense to your soul. So the journey from the heart to the soul is very far. That's why many Christians die without ever changing that aspect. So they love the Lord with their heart, but they think that is the 360. This is now the 360 of love. Number one, heart, the first person rallying. Then you get to a point. If you leave that matter there, you will not enter the second chamber of love, which is, so then you keep running. Now this is where the soul is involved. It means how God will deal with you from this chamber called the soul. Totally different from how you will deal with it from the heart. From the heart, he can apply forgiveness. He can apply a lot of cuteness. From the soul, he can even make you quit the job. Because he will look for anything that powers that thing. You're not getting it. It might even be money. So Jehovah will now begin. Now, during the soul realm, this is where many people give up. Because he is not as cute as the heart. Because in the heart is a function of belief, kindness, the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy. Those are functionalities of the heart. So during the heart agenda, you find a lot of love, joy, peace, patience, self-control, all that. When you begin to enter the chamber of the soul, this is denying now. Here he can deny you things. He can deny. You can come to God with that man that you think is the best to marry you. And Jehovah can deny you that man. Because now the involvement of the journey he wants to take you at this specific realm is that he's in the soul. Now in the soul he looks for attachments. Then he begins to shout, no, 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 no. At that particular point your soul is saying, yes, 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 yes. Now once you finish the relay of the soul, there is a part there that is very important. Are you hearing me? This is your mind. This is the true transformation of a man. The heart, the soul, and the mind. So ask your neighbor, do you love the Lord? What part of you that has not been involved in your service of love to God? What part of those three? David says, God says, I found a man after my own heart. In the heart realm, David passed. In the soul realm, David failed. So I've been doing a lot of cross-checking.